Array of structures. An array of structure variable in which each element of an array will be represented a structure variable. Let us see the syntax. Struct followed by the tag name followed by the identifier name, and within the bracket we are going to give the size. This is for tagged structure. And the another syntax for typedef structure is tag name space identifier name followed by size. So this is for typedef structure. The representation here within the less than and greater than sign, which is nothing but we can change whatever the value whichever we are going to give there. Let us see one example. Struct employee. So within that we are writing char name of size as 10, that is char ename of size 10, which is employee name, semicolon. Next int salary, and close the curly brace and put a semicolon. So struct employee of struct employee space emp of 5. So here is an array emp of size 5. So each element of the array emp is of type employee. So in each every index we are going to store char ename and int salary. So at every location we are going to store name and salary. So this is how array of structures can be implemented.
Let us see one example program.
The next problem statement is array of structures. To read and print n employee details using typedef structure, and it is also an example for array of structures. Now this is all very simple. The same whatever the syntax is same, typedef struct whatever we have written, this is same. And what is the only difference here is, why am I taking this old program as a reference is, you need to clear understand where you are going to change the thing. That is the reason I am explaining with the same previous code, updating with the new problem statement. So please try to understand this. Till here it is same. The next thing is employee E1, E2, E3. If you have multiple employees like E1, E2, E3, E4, if you have 100 employees, such 100 employees you can write like E1 till 100. But it is very difficult to track and it is very difficult to initialize and read. So in order to solve this problem of multiple identifiers initialization with a comma operator, we use the concept of arrays. Now I'll take E of whatever the number of employees it may be. You can just give the size. We are implementing this with a one-dimensional array. So this is nothing but array of structures. Now our life will be very easy for initializing this multiple employees under the arrays. Now in array, each and every block is a collection of structures, right? Now here the initializations and all, this is we anyhow know it. Now the next one is we need to enter multiple employee details depending upon the n value, for which I am initializing some identifiers. N is the number of employees and I am taking I for iteration, right? Now I am asking the user printf enter the n value, that is for number of employees. How many number of employees details you want to read. Scanf percentile d address of n. So I am going to read the n number of employees. So this is to get the user input, that how many employee details which you want to input and get the output from it, right? The next one, after reading the n value, now what I will try to do is I'll use the for loop for executing the multiple employee details. Phi is equal to 1. I am going to start from 1 because I want to okay, if I don't want to use 1 here, as you all like familiar of using array index starts from 0, it is fine for it. Okay, for I equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus. So here within this for loop, so what I will try to do is I'll write this printf and scanf statements. Now you can see here enter employee 1 details. You want to get 1 here, then write percentile D, and here very simple, I'll write I plus 1, which means I'll be getting employee 1 details. Now this is the only one scanf statement which we need to write it now. As earlier case we have seen, we wrote 3 times printf statements, scanf statements. Now here these statements are not needed. So with the help of loops or the iterative statements, so the code is also getting minimized, and the rework, the same kind of printf and scanf statements are also reduced. Now let us see what is the actual change which we need to make within the array of structures. Now here whenever you are saying e1 dot eid, so just remove this and write it as e of I. So for every employee, that is for starting from 0, e0 dot eid, e0 dot ename. Next time you increment the I value, that will be e1, e2, e3 till satisfying with n. Now here ei, very simple, just writing e1, e2, e3 and so on. We are just giving a subscript and placing I. So this is how you can read multiple employee details. You can read multiple employee details. So this is to give a message to the user and read the multiple employee details. And the next one is I want to print the employee details in this order, right? I don't want to use all these things in for loop. The only one statement which I want to write in the for loop is this one. For I is equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus, followed by only one printf statement. Only one printf statement which comes in this. So this is the only one printf statement. I don't want to give multiple printf statements. Now please try to get what is the answer which we need to write here. Percentile D, and here what we need to write? Here we need to write it as e of I dot eid. Next e of I dot name. Next we need to write e of I dot salary. So this is how we can get the multiple employee details reading with the n value, right? Now let me execute this code and show you the output. Now we are going to take the n value. Let me take n value as 2. I want to read 2 employee details. Now you can see here, enter employee 1 details. How you got this one? How you got this one is, whenever you take, now I value is 0. Is 0 less than n? That is 0 less than 2, 0 less than 2, condition is true. If condition is true, now your control is going inside this for loop, and it should take these 2 statements as part of its condition true. Now enter employee percentile D details. Percentile D is, what is I value? I value is 0, 0 plus 1 is 1. That is the reason why you are getting here enter employee 1 details. As we have seen for an individual printf and scanf statement, the same way we are going to do it. Now here first one is, I am going to read the ID of the employee. Next I am going to read the name. Name is money. And what is the salary? Salary is, let's take 45,000, right? Enter employee 2 details. The employee 2 details, the first one is ID of the employee, and the next one is name of the employee as Vishu, and the salary is, let's take 35,000. Okay, now as soon as I hit enter, again you are going to see the output in the output of these 2 employees, because the condition is failed. Now you will be getting the 2 employee details printed, right? So this is how you are getting the 2 employee details. The employee details are whatever the employee inputs which you have given, those details you got it. Now let me just trace this code and show you how you are going to get this input and output. Now after reading the details, till here you are reading the details by satisfying the condition of n. So first time with I equal to 0, 0 less than 2, condition is true. In e of 0, e of 0 dot eid, e of 0 dot name, e of 0 dot salary, you are reading the first employee details. Next one, next I value is incremented by 1. Now I value is 1. Is 1 less than 2, condition is true. Now enter employee details of 1 plus 1, that is 2. That is the reason you got 2 details, employee 2 details. Now e of 1 dot eid, e of 1 dot name, e of 1 dot salary, you are reading the employee details of second employee. Now after reading this employee, next again increment I value by 1. Now I value will become 2. Is 2 is less than 2, condition is failed. If condition is failed, now your control goes out of this for loop. Now you're going to print employee details are, next these hyphens, just a line, next printf id name salary. So this you got here with the tab spaces, okay, /t for tab spaces and /n for new line. In the next line you're going to see again this hyphens, next followed by this is a for loop for printing the output. Now let us see how it prints the output. I value equal to 0 is 0 less than 2, condition is true, then we need to enter into this particular for loop and we need to print in this order. The first one is %d /t %s /t %f and then /n. So what is e of 0.eid? e of 0.eid, whatever the value we stored in e of 0.2id, that is 1201, it is going to display over here. Next, e of 0.name. So what is the name which we have written? E of 0.name, money. So this name has been printed. Next, e of 0.salary. So what is the name? What is the content which we have written? E of 0.salary is 45,000. That 45,000 you got it here. As we are using this float, after point you are going to get 6 precisions. Similarly, again increment I value by 1. Now I value is 1. 1 less than or equal to 1 less than 2, condition is true. Again your control enters into this printf statement. It prints the second employee details according to e1.eid, e1.name, e1.salary. Now again increment I value by 1. I value is 2. Is 2 less than 2, condition is failed. Then it goes for this return 0. With this your program will be stopped. I hope you understood this program, right?